right off here with From Russia with Love. I haven't had a chance to play this one yet. I picked it up. Because it's another third-person Bond. I want to get a lot of the Bond games. But this one brings back Sean Connery to do the voice and likeness of him playing 007 in From Russia with Love, so that's cool. It's another third-person game. Like Everything or Nothing. Agent Under Fire. I had this on the GameCube originally. This is an early title for those systems, the GameCube, Xbox, PS2. It's pretty cool. This one's in first person. It's got multiplayer. You can use vehicles and stuff. Pretty solid game overall. Solid first person shooter. It's not like as good as a GoldenEye, but it is solid. It's better than GoldenEye Reloaded. Seven Nightfire. You got Pierce Brosnan's likeness here, but not his. I'm pretty sure his voice isn't in this one. Same thing as Agent Under Fire. I like this one better than Agent Under Fire. I think this one's the end mission, is when you're in space. Same thing, driving missions and stuff like that. Typical Bond stories and stuff. Multiplayer as well. A decent amount of solid Bond games floating around out there. Here's Everything or Nothing. This one does have Pierce Brosnan as the voice and the likeness. This one's in third person. This is a really good game. Good cover mechanic. You get varied missions and stuff. You can play co-op. I never played co-op. A lot of known people in here. Heidi Klum, John Cleese, Judi Dench, Willem Dafoe, Shannon Elizabeth. Others. Bond. This is a really good game, though. It's one of the better. This is probably a top 3 Bond game. Beyond Good and Evil. I've played some of this back in the day. It's the one I got at the garage sale. And he plays Jade, I believe her name is. You take pictures and stuff. You're uncovering conspiracy. I don't know a ton about it. Outside of that, I did play a very little bit of it back when it came out. Blood. Omen 2. This might be the third. I think this is the third, at least the third in the series, the Legacy of Kain series. You play as Kain as this one. You play as Raziel in the Soul Reaver games. Really cool third-person action-adventure game. Get different powers as Kain and stuff. I think you're fighting the Hilden. They're controlling the Sarafan Lords. I forget everything in this, but it's a cool game, man. The Legacy of Kain games have some of the best voice acting you'll get in video games. Bloodwake, only on Xbox. I'm pretty sure it's the launch title. It's exactly what it says it is here. High-speed gunboat warfare. You get different boats, you're blowing up stuff. There's a multiplayer mode in here. You're blowing up like forts on the shorelines and stuff like that. Taking out other boats and shit. Yeah, 2001, I'm pretty sure this was a launch game for the Xbox. Pretty cool title you can get for cheap. these are cool games because they're squad based and you gotta do certain things and stuff like that to and give orders to your squad and stuff like that. So it's a little bit, in my opinion, these games are better than, because I played the is it Earned in Blood? Did I play that? I know I played the one on the 360, Hell's Highway, and that one was really good. Like, that game is legitimately better than pretty much almost every Call of Duty for me, because it's more intense, it's more strategic, and the fights last longer. You gotta be smart. It just has a better feel, in my opinion. Like, the Call of Duties are more arcadey, if you look at it, than these. This is a pickup from the Antiques and Geeks. Did I get this from? Broken Sword, Sleeping Dragon. It was not that much. That's from Electronics Boutique. I owned this game back in the day. It was a cool, adventure game, point and click type game. There's a little more. You can do more in here. You play as what's his name? What are the two people's names? George Stobart and Nico Collard. Cool game. You're doing different stuff, and it's still point and click. You gotta find things, certain objects, use them in certain places, stuff like that. Another only on Xbox, Brute Force. Now this game is fun. It's a third-person game. You can play with up to 3 other people, I think. Yeah, play co-op with 4 players, but via split screen. I did not do that. I played as 1 player. These are the 4. It was a cool game. The AI was actually really good in this. The problem with this game that got kind of screwed was they were literally touting it as another Halo. I don't know why, because it wasn't first person, but they were really pumping this game up before it came out. And it was a solid game, but it wasn't going to be Halo. There's another one I haven't spent any time with. Love Carmen San Diego, though. Secret of the Stolen Drums. It's just a third-person game where you play some kid who works for Acme agent in training, Cole Cannon. And I assume you're trying to find Carmen San Diego. Circus Maximus Chariot Wars is exactly what it says it is. It's a chariot combat game, races and stuff. I want to say this might have been a launch title too. The Xbox had a pretty good launch, or at least games that came out around the time of the launch. You could upgrade your freaking chariot and stuff like that. This is another garage sale pickup. The classic Dead to Rights, Jack Slade here. I've talked about this game a ton. It's a fantastic game. You get framed for, you might frame for your dad's death, I forget, or somebody's death, and you gotta go on a fight to clear your name. Combat's really cool in this. It borrows a lot from Max Payne, but it's unique in its own way. You have Shadow, your dog that will disarm enemies. You're disarming enemies. You're doing the slow-mo, the bullet time, the Max Payne stuff. The boss battles in this game are very unique. One good cop, one very bad situation. The second one I wasn't a huge fan of. The Dead to Rights Retribution, that was on the 360 and the PS3, is actually pretty good. The first one's still the best, though. Ghost Recon. I haven't played it yet. This is the one I got from the 4, that 4 a lot of 4 games. I may eventually play it. Most of these games are complete too. Almost all of these. Games are complete. This is one of the ones that isn't. Gladiators. I got this down in Florida, actually, at the game store in Winter Haven. I played a shit ton of this back in the day. On the Xbox and the GameCube, I believe. This game's fantastic. It's an awesome strategy, turn-based strategy game on a grid. Awesome game. It's just an awesome game. You recruit characters. There's Valens and Ursula. This is Valens, is Ursula here. You can start with either one and then eventually you meet up, so it's a little different at the beginning of the game depending on who you choose, but you do meet up eventually. You can recruit people at different gladiator schools when you're doing combat. Combat in the overworld, you will lose anybody you've recruited and built up. If they die in the open world, the overworld, whatever, they will be dead permanently. If the main character dies, it's game over. Any of the main characters, but it's a really fun game. Great music as well. It's the last of the Bond universe games. GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Just $5 the video game trading post. I always thought Bond died in this one, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't. You end up getting messed up, and then you get a GoldenEye, and then you're fighting the bad guys. Fight alongside and against legendary villains such as Goldfinger, Oddjob, Pussy Galore, and Dr. No. I didn't beat this game. It's very corridor, generic kind of corridor shooter. It is not as good as the other Bonds, although I'm going to say GoldenEye Reloaded has a lot in common with this game, just the way it feels. I don't know. They're made by two different companies. Heroes of the Pacific. This is the other game. One of the other games I got. In that eBay lot. It's an aerial combat game, World War II. Using different planes. Looks like I got a bunch of missions here. I've not played it yet. Gun. This was made by the people who made the Tony Hawks at the time. Neversoft. Open world western. It's pretty cool. I did not beat it. I did play some of it back in the day and then got it again. Because it is a cool game. I think this came out around the time of like Red Dead Revolver as well. It does have its manual. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game. Halo Combat Evolved. It's a generic shooter. No, I'm kidding. One of the best. Halo Combat Evolved. Fantastic shooter. Still my favorite in the series. Big open, well, not all of them, but a lot of the levels are very open. You're fighting the Covenant. The AI is excellent. The enemy AI is excellent. Your friendly AI is pretty good too. Really cool game. It's Halo. It's a classic. I am trying to speed through these because I started this up earlier and was interrupted by noise outside for a while, so. Haunted Mansion. I said I picked this up because I watched Luke Morse did a video on this during Halloween, probably like 5 or 6 years ago. It's actually really good. I played a ton of this game. Really cool game. Another game with unique boss fights. And you're collecting the souls and see how you gotta release the souls, before becoming one. I played this after I saw that second movie that they made, the remake or whatever. And then some of the stuff is the same. But it's actually a really cool game. I would recommend this to people who are into like third-person action games with unique stuff. Hitman II. The first of the platinum hits I have. I did play some of this back in the day. The Hitman games are pretty solid. Stealth stuff, disguises. You can choose to kill your target in different ways. I've not played many of the Hitman games. A game that would even make Tony Soprano proud. I don't understand. Tony was an Hitman, but whatever. I believe I picked this up at one of the video game stores. I haven't played it yet. It looked like a cool kind of third-person game based on The Hobbit. Hunter the Reckoning, deliver us from evil. This is a cool kind of top-down game, like a Diablo, or I'm trying to think, Bard's Tale, Baldur's Gate, shit like that. Forsaken, no, what's it called? Forsaken, those games? I forget. Fallen Angel, the Sacred games. I think they were called Sacred. Survive the Unthinkable. It's a really cool game. He plays different characters and stuff. Big open areas, battling all types of stuff. Gauntlet's another one of these games. Kind of Gauntlet might be the original of these kind of games. It's cool. I talked about the story when I had this on my original Xbox back in the day. All of a sudden, my Xbox made a weird fucking noise. The game froze and never played again. So it's a defective disc or something. It's a cool game, though. There was a second one. Redeemer, I believe. Lord of the Rings, The Third Age. One RPG to rule them all. Cool, turn-based, Final Fantasy-esque role-playing game in Lord of the Rings universe. You will fight alongside characters from the movies, but you're different people. It's a solid game. If you're into Lord of the Rings, you're gonna like it. It's a bit ridiculous that like you help Gandalf fight the Balrog and stuff, but they gotta throw you into all these things. But it looks good. You're collecting stuff and new weapons and all that crap, leveling up. It's the standard Final Fantasy, well, the older Final Fantasy style turn-based RPG. So this is the second greatest hits. Medal of Honor, Frontline, really cool game, especially for the time. This also has multiplayer in it. You're playing through World War II. Back when World War II shooters were all the rage. It's really good though. It looked great for the time. Just a really solid shooter. I just noticed this. This is the fourth game that came in that lot. This case is like completely warped. Medal of Honor, Rising Sun. I didn't notice that. Oh my god. I haven't played a ton of this. I only played a little bit of this similar thing. This one's not as, from what I played, it's not as good as Frontline, but this is in the Pacific Theater. Not the Eastern Front, so you're fighting Japan in this one. Same thing though, it's Medal of Honor, it's a World War II shooter. Here's an underrated game in my opinion. This is another one that came from that garage sale. Metal Arms glitch in the system. You play as Glitch here. Third-person game, you're a Glitch robot. I think you escape from a factory. But the combat's great in this game. Explosions everywhere. You can control other robots. There's vehicle stuff here. I never played the multiplayer. Pretty long game. You get different weapons here as well. It was just a really cool game. Really nice-looking game graphically as well. It was a super fun, overlooked game, in my opinion. That was on the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, so if you had any of those systems, you were able to play it. I mean, I have not played all these personally, but I played Root Beer Tapper, I've played Clax Tube and 720 Marble Madness, Smash TVs, another classic, Road Blasters, Sinistar, Paperboy, Rampage, etc. Spy Hunter. If you like the Midway arcade games, you get these, they have another 2 or 3 of these sets back then. It's always cool when those games are all in like one big compilation. Mystery Exile. I don't think I played much of this one. It's Myst, first person, point and click game. You know, you're trying to figure out things and everything else. There's looks like we've got a Brad Dourif in this one. So it looks like there is some VM, what are they called? VMV? I don't know. Used to see it all the time in the Sega CD. Full motion video, FMV, sorry. Another excellent game. Panzer Dragoon Order. The second one, the first one came out on the Saturn. I don't think there was one on the Dreamcast. Another only on Xbox. Sega was pumping out a lot of games on the Xbox. That's why a lot of people called the Xbox like the spiritual successor to the Dreamcast, because Sega, I guess, made a deal with them. You got the first Ninja Gaiden, not the first. No, Ninja Gaiden was Tecmo, sorry, not Sega. You got Shenmue 2, Panzer Dragoon. Well, Shenmue 2 is also on the Dreamcast. Panzer Dragoon Order, Jet Set Radio Future, Gunfall Cree, a couple others as well Sega put out. Crazy Taxi, High Roller, I believe, was exclusive. House of the Dead 3 was exclusive to the Xbox, I believe. This is a cool shooter. You fly on the Dragoon or whatever, and you're blasting, you're turning around. It's on a rail shooter, you turn around, shooting stuff behind you, to the sides, and in front of you. Really nice looking game, too. Especially at the time. Pirates of the Caribbean, I haven't played this one yet. I picked it up because it was, thanks, be safe, be strong. That must have came with it. This is like an RPG, Bethesda RPG, right? I guess they just threw Pirates of the Caribbean on here to, bank on some money. Open-ended gameplay set in exotic location. I picked it up because I wanted to try it because it was open game, but I'm going away from open games these days until like Elder Scrolls 8, Elder Scrolls 6 comes out 20 years from now. I don't know. I like playing the straightforward games now. Let me do these all at once. Prince of Persia. Got the Sands of Time, Warrior Within, Two Thrones. Great games. The Sands of Time. This is one of the all-time greats. This game is incredible. First came out on the Apple II, I believe. Prince of Persia. It's been on tons of consoles, but this 3D one was something else. Warrior Within solid as well. He gets a little more gritty in this one, and then he unleashes his dark side, or whatever it is they call it. And then this one actually has some chariot stuff in it. One warrior, two souls. And it's like your dark prince, or whatever you want to call it. Whoops. It's a little cracked. Really cool games, though. This one's the best. I played a bunch of this one. I only played a little of this one. They're all good. The combat and the wall running and you grabbing on stuff, jumping, climbing, all works very well in these games. This game does it better than most, and this was kind of even the originals. It was like the precursor to like the Assassin's Creeds and stuff like that. Mirror's Edge and stuff. Project Snowblind. I played some of this back in the day. It's a cool game. I think it's set in the Deus Ex universe, actually. You get different weapons and stuff like that. I think I played some of it on there. It might have been the PS2. I actually played some of it on. This has got a lot of stuff you can do, though. No custom soundtracks. Rally Sport Challenge. This is another only on Xbox. Rally Sport game, races and stuff. You've got your navigator in there and passenger seat telling you where to go. You're playing in the rough terrains or in the snow, ice, stuff like that, woods. And this game at the time was a fantastic looking game. And you're using all types of actual cars and stuff. Like pretty much any racing game. See, this is the Sega GT was another one they got. This is an only on Xbox dual pack from Sega. Sega GT 2002 and Jet Set Radio Future. They're both on the same disc. Jet Set is the sequel to Jet Grind Radio. Cool game where you're spray painting stuff, the cool cell shaded look on your rollerblades going around, going all over the place, grinding on stuff. Another Smile Bit game, just like Panzer Dragoon. They were making these dual packs even back then. Sega GT 2002 is a race game. Serious Sam 2. Over the top first person shooter. Crazy enemies that are endlessly coming at you. It's a super fun game. Fast paced. Super fun. Getting crazy guns. Enemies, like I said, are coming at you from everywhere. Bigger guns, weirder enemies, serious action. Yeah, the enemies are bizarre. But as a suit, these are super fun games. Even when they're not great, they're still super fun to play. Silent Hill for the Room. My second personal favorite Silent Hill behind 2. You wake up in the room, you're Henry Townsend. Actually, doesn't take place in, like, you don't live in Silent Hill, but you're locked in your room. And I see your little chains and locks on your doors, and all of a sudden a portal appears in your bathroom. You go through it, you end up in different worlds. Great soundtrack, creepy, disturbing enemies. Just a dreadful game, as always. Not dreadful in a bad way, but you are like, you play the Walter Sullivan. He's mentioned in 2, but he was like a serial killer when he got older, and this was like his apartment. And he acts as though the apartment's his mother, his spirit. It's a very good storyline for this one as well. And the last of my... this is still in the Xbox. I have the manual for this floating around. I don't know where I put it. I might have wanted to do a page-turning manual thing with it, but never did. This isn't in the Xbox. I had taken it out of the Xbox and I have it. It's in a bin in a plastic, CD case. But Simpsons Road Rage. Crazy Taxi clone, Simpsons universe. You play a bunch of different characters and different cars. One of the cars you've seen in the game. It's Crazy Taxi. You gotta pick up fares. There's another mode. There's an arcade mode too, I think. And then there's story mode. Arcade mode is where you're trying to get as much money as possible. And story mode is, you're doing specific missions. This game is glitchy as hell. I remember falling into the environment and stuff like that. But it's fun. If you're into The Simpsons, you'll like it. If you're into Crazy Taxi, you'll like it. And now you're gonna get some Star Wars games. Jedi, Outcast, Jedi Knight 2. I forget who you play as in this game. This is in third person and first person, I believe. Using blasters, you're using your lightsaber, you got force powers. Looks like there's a multiplayer component there as well. I didn't play a ton of this. Star Wars. Jedi Jedi Starfighter, force powered. I got this for $1 at a garage sale. This disc is very destroyed. I'm pretty sure it works though. I had this back in the day. I remember I got this and I want to say Nightfire together. I remember just getting them from Bayshore Best Buy for some reason. I don't know why we were out there at the time. Maybe it wasn't Nightfire. Maybe was Nightfire out? No, too. I don't know. Anyway, it's the Clone Wars. It's another aerial combat game using different vehicles from Star Wars, space shooters and stuff. Pretty fun game. It's not as good as the Rogue Squadrons, but it's solid. Knights of the Old Republic. And Knights of the Old Republic 2. I got this one recently from the GameStop in Ashboro. The first one's probably a little bit better. This one's great. This one's made by Obsidian. BioWare made the first one. Obsidian did the second. They're awesome games in the Star Wars. They take place 4,000 years before the first one. That's Bastila. Is Darth Bane in this one or is he in this one? And you play as Revan. I forget the other characters' names. There's a bunch of characters. You choose I think 3. Is it 3 you go into fight with? And you're running around the board. I'm pretty sure you move around when you're in the fights. And you're choosing what you want to do and stuff. It's turn-based in that sense, but you're running. There is movement. You go to a bunch of worlds from Star Wars. It's always cool in Star Wars games, finding new worlds. I think she ends up being the bad guy in this one. I forget her name. You have a ship, you fly around to different places and stuff. There it is. The Ebon Hawk, yeah, there it is. And you can be good or bad, Jedi or Sith, you know. Depending on what you do, and there's a meter and stuff, and you're upgrading your points and shit like that. They're both fantastic games. They really are both fantastic. Well worth playing. You can get them. They're available on the Xbox Store. I think they're on all the systems these days. Some of the best. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, with actual film footage. This is a beat 'em up, essentially a third-person beat 'em up, where you're playing as Anakin or Obi-Wan. You eventually fight. I think you can actually end this game bad too, where you kill the Emperor, you kill Obi-Wan as Anakin, then you kill the Emperor as well. I forget. It was alright. I didn't play all of it. The one on the GBA is it's just a 2D beat 'em up, which is really cool. A couple of Splinter Cells here. This is the first 2. Splinter Cell and Splinter Cell Pandora. Tomorrow. You're Sam Fisher. Stealth games. Excellent games. Very nice looking games, especially for the time. These took advantage. This was originally an exclusive for the Xbox. Then they put it out. I guess it was time. It wasn't as good as on the other systems. Sure shit didn't look as good. This one is much tougher. You do anything in this one and your mission's over. You got Dennis Haysbert, the voice of the dude. This mission's over, Fisher. They're cool though. I also have Conviction and Double Agent. I need to get Chaos Theory and Blacklist. I did play some of Blacklist. I had it on the Wii U briefly. It was definitely a different type of Splinter Cell. I mean, Conviction is too as well, and I have not played the Double Agent one yet. But this one, these two and Chaos Theory are very similar in a way, but great stealth games. They're like a Metal Gear Solid, but not as batshit insane with the story. These are more grounded in their stories. I don't know which ones I don't know which ones I like more. It was a big thing back in the day. People, this one's better. They both have great stealth, and Sam Fisher and Solid Snake are great characters, although you use Big Boss as well. And some of the Metal Gears. 2 left. Turok haven't played it yet. I grabbed it. I should play it. I do like the Turogs. It's another first-person shooter. There's one on the 360 and the PS3 as well. I don't know how that one is. And the last game here is XMen Legends. This is another top-down game. Raven. Oh, they've made a bunch of stuff. I forget what they didn't make the Mercenaries game, did they? I don't know. It's XMen Legends. You're recruiting a bunch of different X-Men. It's like a gauntlet game. Hunter, Reckoning, Diablo, etc. You go into battle with certain X-Men. You're fighting the Brotherhood of Mutants, typically, right? In this one, Apocalypse is in the second one, so you fight Magneto, Sentinels, all the rest. Pretty good roster of characters. I've not played it all, but this is HDTV 720. For the time, that's pretty crazy when this came out. 04. These are cool games. So if you're into the top-down ones and you like Marvel, you're gonna like these. And if you like the X-Men, I should say, you're gonna really like these. And then they made X-Men Legends too, and then they made Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, where everybody was there, not just X-Men. But yeah, that's just a gum-chewing original Xbox collection in this new view, and thanks for checking this out, and have a good day.